Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well today. I hope you can hear me. It says you can, and I'm going to have to drop down my audio just a little bit because it's peaking out, and we're adjusting. Hey, I'm playing with OBS for the second time, so kind of give me a break if you could. I would really appreciate it because, things are happening, and I've got to do new stuff. Hey, there's Craig, and there's Flying with Stan. Hello everybody. I'm glad to see you. I hope we get a whole lot more people. We started a whole new... well, not really a whole new thing, but I'm kind of doing a new format. But anyway, what we're talking about, the first thing I want to do is I do a little bit of housekeeping, tell you what's going on with me, what's going on with the channel, then we get into the news, and I do have a special guest today, and then we get into the drone chat just a little bit more. Really quick, I do want to say, if you like drones and drone news and everything else and all kinds of good videos and tips and whatnot, go ahead and click that subscribe button and go ahead and hit the like button, and don't forget to share this with everybody that you can. First is a quick housekeeping. Very interesting information this morning. Hot news. I locked myself out of my apartment this morning for about an hour. I went to go do laundry, and I forgot my key. So I didn't get a lot done this morning because of that. And that was not any fun at all. I got to meet my neighbor, though. Luckily, there was one other person in the building. There's not a lot of apartments here, so there was luckily one other person in the building, and they helped me out by calling my landlord because I didn't even have my phone on me. It was a wonderful thing. Like I said, I'm glad that my neighbor was good. So another quick housekeeping update. I've got a new video coming out in about 2 days. I've been working on it a little bit after I locked myself out. I worked on the new edit, and I got a lot of it done. Not all of it, but I think I should be able to finish it today and tomorrow, and we'll have a nice new short tip video on Thursday. Yay! So we're happy about that. Good. And now we are going to talk about our special guest. He comes all the way from Florida. I bet you guys know who it is. If you see him in the chat, say hi to everybody. Brian Franklin. Ooh, hey, there you are. Nice to meet you. Great new guy. So, Mr. Craig, we're going to go ahead and unmute you, and we're going to bring you on over. Check out Mr. Craig. Say hi, everybody.
I don't want to be unmuted.
You are now unmuted. So, Craig, give us a very quick info about your channel.
I'm Craig with Swappy's Drone Videos. We have a little bit of a delay on my feed real quick. Hold on. Let me fix that up. Where did it go? Stop sharing. Look at that. And no more delay. All right. So, wow. I like what you did with the little chat window. That's all different. All right. That's interesting, Brad. So, that completely threw me off. Sorry. So, all right, about my channel. I do a lot of the same stuff as Brad. I fly drones. I do like doing reviews. I don't do as many tips and tricks like Brad has. He has great tips and tricks, but I kind of fly. I just like to fly and fly a lot. But instead of in Chicago, I'm here in Florida, around the Tampa area. So
Yay.
That's what I do.
Is that it? That's all? You don't do anything more than that? So you like my new screens I got going on?
Yeah, that threw me off, man. See, I fly stuff. I have this little toy guy, this little Batwing. Yeah,
definitely.
I never charge up. I play video games, but not on my channel. Yeah, so
cool. I
noticed that you hit 3,000 subscribers.
I did. I was so excited about that. I'm at 3,800, I think, or something like 3,008.
Yeah,
yay me!
That's awesome.
Can't wait to hit 50 million any day now.
50 million any day now. All right.
Any day. Yes, because we can count.
So I want to do this. I want to personally shout out to Brian Franklin from being here from the UK, just in the chat because he wanted a shout out. So I specifically shouted him out.
Yeah, I'd like to say hi to Brian because he's a new guy. I haven't seen him before.
I haven't either.
And we actually have one little news article coming out of the UK that we're going to talk about. I bet you didn't even have an opportunity to look at these articles I posted out for everybody to look at, did you?
No, because I had to mow the lawn.
And 1,000 other things from the sounds of it.
That's right.
So that's okay. So Craig, you get to learn a little bit as we go, and same here. And I haven't read through all of these, so we're gonna kind of poke through them. the first thing I want to talk about is people are this article here is talking about drone usage is up 239% from last year. Oops, this is not what I wanted to do.
Say that again.
Read the art. It says right there, increased 239% for drone usage in construction.
That's crazy.
Isn't
That's
it?
absolutely nuts.
And this is from, let's see, the website is The Drive. I've got links for this in below. And I didn't get a chance to put Craig's link in, but check out, you can look on his thing, on his...
I can put a link in the chat.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, put a link in the chat for that. The arena is dark. Everyone is holding up their cell phone lights. Brad appears from behind the curtain. Oh, I hope Flying with Stan already sees this, man. I hope he's already
I was waiting for you to catch that. he posted that not too long ago.
Okay, good. So anyway, it talks about basically when, you know, like the Phantom 4 Pros and all those came out, how people started getting into things and doing different stuff, and how, you know, drones are becoming more prevalent inside of construction. And I know some people have done it. I know that there's a guy here in town that does a lot of construction work. I haven't done much. In fact, I haven't done any construction yet. But, you know, people are using Drone Deploy and other apps. And this is a very, very light overview of what's going on inside the construction arena of drones. And it's a really decent little overview, and it has, you know, a little bit of information. I'm trying to read. I can't read. You know, they have better photos, you know, because you can get so much more details with a drone when you use something like, you know, Drone Deploy or Pix4D or whatever, and you can get some great information. And if you really get into it, you can do some really, really awesome things for the construction. They even have a little picture down here.
Who'd you say was doing it? You said someone around you. Matt's done it too, right?
I'm not sure if Matt's done construction or not. But
I know he's used. I know he's done, you know, survey work.
He's done some, yes. He's done a lot of real estate, but it just shows that yes, this is growing. And basically, I wanted to talk about it because it is. I'm going to pop back over to this other shot here, because to me, oh, you know what? I just realized you didn't see the screen I was just showing.
No,
because I didn't do this. That's what I meant to do.
What?
Oh, pop the other screen up here. So there. Now we can look at this. This whole article.
Oh, okay. I pulled up.
No. This whole article here, I just realized you guys didn't see any of this. So it says all of this, and I was scrolling through it and looking at it and wasn't showing you guys. So now I'm showing you guys. Again, still kind of new with OBS. I'm not used to having to hit the transition button like that. It's usually click. I'm used to just clicking once. So I apologize for that. Anyway, so you guys can check it out. Check this article out. It says a lot about you know, the Phantom 4 again coming out, and how it's made it very inexpensive for a lot of people to get in and help constructions with using Drone Deploy, Pix4D, and good stuff like that. I mean, because like I said before, you can't use it's easier than using a helicopter. It's cheaper than using a helicopter. You can do it more often than using a helicopter. I talked to a guy, probably 6 months ago, who was in charge of the Facebook, or maybe it was Facebook, or I don't know, somebody out in San Francisco, a big project where he had an Inspire going out twice a day to go do mapping and then give them updates on what's going on. And that pilot was getting paid a lot of money. He said, the guy had said, I am actually leasing out that drone for more money than I could have a Lamborghini.
That's ridiculous.
So I'm like, why don't you just buy the drone for that? My opinion, but you know. So
I mean, at that point, yeah. I mean, at that point, you might as well just go ahead and say, all right, that's a worthy investment, especially if he's doing it out. You said twice a day.
Yeah. And now the guy that I was talking to was the project manager for the whole thing. He just hired some guy, and that some guy is out there doing that. That some guy might actually own the Inspire and be leasing it to him, and then flying it twice a day. So that guy's making bank. He was making, I don't remember the dollar amounts, but I do remember he was making good money flying twice. But he was probably offering some really fantastic services on top of that. At least I hope so.
So the one thing I want to, oh, hold on, I've got a cough, and I don't want to cough in your stream.
So good. You go cough with the mute button. That's awesome.
See, look at that. Look at that.
Perfect.
All right. So one thing I want to go ahead and say is kind of the flip side of this. So you have, you have this going up 239% year over year. So that's good and that's bad. So, and the reason why I say that is that because you're going to have, these guys that were making bank for, because they were the only game in town for what, X amount of years, at least probably like 2 or 3 years, right? Now they have everybody and their mother at this point trying to fly drones. You have people that are doing it legally with their Part 107. And then, of course, you have, hey, I want to do this. I have a drone. Hire me. I'll charge you $50. Right?
Well,
sadly.
Well, I think with this specific market, I think that there'll be a little bit more. Are you licensed or not? Because we want to see your certificate of insurance and all of that. So, but you are correct. Uh-oh, it looks like I froze. Oh
No.
Shit. No. Okay. Good.
Crazy.
Anyway, so the way I see it is, it's probably my stupid computer doing something. It's again, I'm having a heck of a time. My point is that it is a lower cost of getting into it, but you still have to have some skill. And quite honestly, Drone Deploy is a decent program, but it is not good enough for most things that you want to do.
I think it did freeze, Brad.
Yeah, I think it is.
No.
It's coming bit. It's going in and out a little bit. My CPU usage is actually at 30%.
No, you don't play with me.
So, basically it is. It's I think it's there will be people lowballing, and you're right. It's going to happen, but that's just going to happen. The people are going to make bank right now, and then there's going to be, a guy like me or you coming in and say, I'll do it for, instead of $500 a day, I'll do it for $450 a day, and then there's going to be another guy coming in at $300 a day, and next thing you know, there's the cheap guy coming at $200, but he's going to lose his butt. He's not going to make any money because, Drone Deployer is good, but it's not what you really, really want to see as a construction person. You want something a lot more professional, like Pix4D or some other app that's got a lot more features. Drone Deploy without paying a lot of money isn't going to be worth it.
Oh yeah, no, and I agree with you there. But then you run into the other side of it too. Not only that, but then kind of sticking with the saturated markets. Some areas are more saturated than others. I'm in one of the most heavily saturated markets, other than probably California.
No, I think you have more. I think I heard that there's more drone pilots in Florida than anywhere else.
It wouldn't surprise me.
So yeah, no thanks. I don't need to be in Florida.
Yeah. So you'll get more business than I will.
Good. Now I'm seeing these comments from Stan saying, "I must act soon. I can feel the tension." What is this? Is my stream not live?
No, it's showing live for me. I see it.
Okay, because I'm getting concerned. Because listen, Mr. Stan, don't mess with me. Not in the mood today.
Wait a second. He may not have refreshed everything. Give me 1 second. So sometimes if you're in it right before it,
it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because we're live, Stan. We've been live for like how long?
Like 20 minutes?
15 minutes. Been live for 15 minutes, almost 15 minutes. So
I've dealt with that so many times. But yeah, you got 8 watching right now.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep, there you go. Hi, Stan. Welcome back.
Hey, Stan.
We've been live. What's your problem, man? Oh, God. Some people. Stan, you're just going to have to rewind and watch the whole thing again. We'll wait for you. No, we will not. So what is everybody... Now, we got 8 people watching. At least that's what you tell me. I'm not really looking at that number. So I would like to know what the Peanut Gallery thinks a little bit about, the news of, commercial drone construction taking off a lot, and who's right? I'm right, so we really don't have to argue the point because I'm right and Craig's wrong. Because it's me. I'm always right.
Well, like I said, I mean, honestly, you're right. In this type of situation, you are right, with the exception of a busy area like where I'm at.
Yeah. You got that because you have a lot of competition. You're stiff over there.
A lot of competition? God.
is an
You know,
understatement.
all I want to say is that I had to resort to Thumbtack, and I still didn't get work from Thumbtack.
Oh wow, that's
So,
amazing.
so I'm just saying, because and I've talked to you about it, where
Hmm.
I'll submit, go ahead and give them a quote, and just not even get any response whatsoever. And like I've seen it where a job will go out on Thumbtack,
Hmm.
and within seconds it's gone,
Yeah, I don't know
gone.
how people respond so quickly. I've seen that, and I stopped doing it because I'm like, I'm not bothering with the thumbtack anymore. I used to like it. I used to get a lot of little gigs with it, a lot of nice, 20 gigs, $100 gigs. I think I got $250 gig once. A lot of little things. So, eh, I don't really like it. No, ATCO Drones says construction is booming in Colorado, which yeah, same here in Chicago. There is a lot of new buildings going up,
I
all
mean,
kinds of high
it's
rises. That's
same
what gets
here,
to me.
man. I mean, not high rises, but well, I actually I can't even say that. I mean, maybe not in Tampa, but I mean, we just went down to Fort Lauderdale. I mean, and there's always construction there. I mean,
Hmm.
I probably in the past 20 years I haven't seen Fort Lauderdale not have some type of construction. But I still get a kick out of it. This is related to construction,
Hmm.
but I am going to sidetrack a little bit.
Don't go too far
So,
over.
well, it's
Hey,
just
go ahead.
funny. It's still related to construction, and I thought about taking my drone up and taking a picture of this building every day,
Hmm.
just in kind of
A pick a
almost
day.
same spot.
A pick a day.
So there is up the road from me. There was a plot of land. It's just been sitting empty for probably about 3 years.
Hmm.
Then maybe about 2 weeks ago, all the grass was taken up and then flattened out. And then like 2 days after that, a whole building was there. And
Poof.
I'm like, what is this? And then the next day, there's a sign: Burger King now hiring.
Wow. They popped that up really quick.
So the building wasn't. It was the physical building, the structure of the building was up, but of course the signage hadn't been up.
Yeah.
It's been 2 weeks, and I think all they have left to do is like pave the parking lot and put sod down.
They're not screwing around. Holy crap.
I
That's
I and I really wish I was over exaggerating. It's been 2 weeks.
wow. That's
That
amazing.
that's why I want to take a picture. Like just driving by it every day, just picture, picture. Just
That-
take the drone up, just
So 14 days, let's say you had 14 days, one day, one picture per day, that time lapse would be half a second.
right.
Done. It's like, okay, there would be no really cool time lapse.
No,
Wow. Yeah, here in Chicago, or here's an article I heard about. I don't have the link and I don't know where I heard about it, but I know I heard this story. Oh, good. I'm glad RL's in.
I see that.
And anyway, so this story, what I'd read is that a lot of people are not wanting to live in the suburbs anymore. They're wanting to live in the downtown areas. And this is true for Chicago, New York, LA, and all major cities, Houston,
It's true here
Dallas,
too.
and Tampa. And that's why you're seeing this big boom of tall buildings because people, they don't want to have cars. They're younger. And by younger, I mean not my age because I'm
Hmm.
old. We've discussed that. So they're younger. They don't want to have cars. They want to live close to work. They're not really at this moment concerned about raising kids in the city because they're still single or just young couples and they're not really looking to have babies so quick. And they want
Yeah.
all of this. So there's a major influx of people coming into the cities. And I know,
Hmm.
and I see all these towers going up into Chicago. I'm like, where are these people coming from? But then I also remember reading that, Google moved into downtown Chicago. They have an office down there now. Microsoft, I believe, has moved into downtown Chicago now because they've all had offices outside of Chicago and in the burbs. Um, we're looking at bringing an Amazon facility into Chicago, which would be crazy. Um, we got Groupon downtown. We've got United is downtown. We've got all these big companies that have moved into the city. In fact, McDonald's, I believe, is moving their corporate into the city outside of Des Plaines. It used to be in Des Plaines, and now it's going into downtown. So all these big corporations are moving in downtown because that is where the workforce is going to be. That's now we got to build all these condos, and it's just this big, massive effect. And I read that like 2 or maybe 3 years ago. So I think that's what we're starting to really get to see is we're seeing that in action and happening now.
Yeah.
What do we got going on in the chat?
Well, you made me think about it. Actually, while you were talking about the high-rises and everything like that, we have our whole Channel District, which is actually part of downtown Tampa. And you're right, actually, because I don't drive by that way anymore. But yeah, there's high-rises going up all around there. And and what's even cooler about it is that it's the Channel District, which is our cruise port. So it's like they can go get off the elevator from their high-rise, walk right on a cruise ship. And everything is all going to be in this like tight little community. I mean, they're building a Publix at the bottom of one of the high rises. There is there's definitely like 2 or 3 gyms that are all there. There's these little dog parks, and you can tell it's definitely. I mean, I guess you could say that's my generation,
Mm-hmm.
but even still, I'm on the older side of my generation.
Mm-hmm.
So, wow, I just saw your face with your wide eyes for a second. That was a little delayed for me, but yeah, that definitely threw me off. But the fun part about Tampa is that there's actually multiple downtown areas. So, and so each one has its own little style, of course. So you have the Channel District with all the high rises. You have our Soho district, which is we have a road, Howard Avenue, so South Howard, Soho.
So South Houston.
So it's all, kind of flat buildings, but then you have like these mansions at the end of it. So you have the rich young kids, or the people who want to be young that are rich, and they can walk to the bars that are right there. Then you have Ybor, which is also another downtown area, which these 3 areas that I just mentioned, they're not far from each other. Like they're within 2 miles of each other. In Ybor is the old kind of Cuban district where all the cigars were being made and everything like that. They have a whole central area that's bars, restaurants, little grocery stores. And Greg knows about Ybor because he's been up to Tampa plenty of times, and he's putting it in the chat.
Yep.
But then just right outside of all that, where honestly, a lot of these like rundown neighborhoods, they're just plowing them over and putting in apartment buildings that are not necessarily high rise, but they're definitely like 5 or 6 flights up.
Wow, that's and that's happening everywhere. That is happening everywhere. I'm just impressed. You know what? I just realized I have my air conditioner on. I hope nobody can hear it. I hope it's not too loud and obnoxious. But it's a little warm outside.
Honestly, I can barely hear it.
Yay!
Like I can hear it a little bit, but it's not horrible. Oh yeah, see, I thought Greg lived here. I wasn't sure. Greg lived here for 8 years.
Cool.
Apparently.
So,
and I made him upset because I was in his neck of the woods.
You didn't go,
I was 4 miles away from him, and yet I didn't go ahead and send him a message and let him know, even though I was there for a friend's kid's birthday party.
I would kill you.
Just so happened to get time to fly my drone.
Greg, you have my permission to smack him in the head, but you got to find him.
He's come up here a couple of times. So.
Oh, okay. Well, see, then you are a horrible person, Greg.
I am.
Okay. So now let's move on to the next story, because this is something I think is kind of cool. I mean, I think you might like it. Yes, pollination. I mean,
I stole your thunder there. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. You can steal it once, and then I can dump you. Just don't forget, I can hang up. So
fair enough.
Hey,
don't forget to show the
yeah, I know. I was just getting that. I was just getting that set up. So I thought this was really interesting, and it's actually really, really good. I'm really impressed with this. We have this. Let's see. I gotta figure this thing out.
Just here. Greg said,
yeah.
Rack 'em. Rack 'em.
Yeah, that's how we go, man. So anyway, catch the buzz. This DROPCOPTER is the name of the company. Has been releasing pollen because honeybees are we have a problem with bees disappearing and dying off. So they are working on a solution to this. Now this is the entire article right here that's on the screen. You can read that as you want. They are basically doing a lot of studies on this whole thing. It's what?
RL, birds and bees.
Oh, I'm ignoring him now. So, well, it is a bird with bees, you know.
I know.
They are, and they're having success at pollinating cherries and almonds, is what it's saying. So, if they keep doing that, I mean, that's a good thing because, you know, as we know, bees are critical to our food supply. Some people don't
Very
know
much
how
so.
critical they really are, and it's like, holy crap! I mean, we need this to happen. We need this pollination, and I'm happy that drones, and you see the size of this drone. It's rather large.
Yeah.
Let me see, interact.
But
Yeah,
that's a six copter.
the hexacopter.
Hexacopter. That's it. I couldn't think.
Yeah, so you got the size
Sixacopter. It's a
six.
sixacopter.
I want a 5-a-copter. 4.5-a-copter. Anyway, so yeah, you can see it's
a pentagon copter.
A pentacopter. They actually exist. I think one was trying to be designed, or it was a joke. It could have been a joke. But anyways, you see, I mean, it is a hexacopter. He's just got, and he's just doing some pollination, which, you know, birds and the bees. I think it's the coolest thing on the planet that they're doing this. I mean, this is just the beginning of that. So if they can get it to work, and you know, we don't want the bees to die. I'd rather not the bees die off, because that's a bad thing. We want them to stay around. So just the fact that they've got this going on as a backup plan kind of makes me feel better.
Well, and what I'm seeing here, let's see. Actually, you're missing a little part of that article. Go back to it real quick.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go here. Here. What did I miss?
So there's a part towards the bottom, actually, like right at the very bottom of it, saying use DROPCOPTER's methods. A farmer can ensure these king blooms are pollinated as soon as they open. But the part in bold is what really gets me. A farmer can effectively dial in the amount of pollination, maximizing their sizing to get the greatest return for their crop. So not only is it something that combats the bee issue, where if they're not having enough bees, but this gives them significant control over, exactly what they want to be pollinated. Because then they said that if an apple orchard sets too much fruit, it requires the grower to hand thin the less desirable apples. Now, I don't know what the less desirable.
And that means someone's got to go hand pick some bad apples. That's literally what it means, in my opinion.
But the thing is, so this is kind of where I have an issue with a little bit of how the FDA works when it comes to food and everything like that. You know, they always want it to be a grade A. So it has to have a certain size and shape for it to be considered a grade A. Whereas, some of these apples, oranges, cherries, whatever kind of fruit, vegetable, any of it, if it looks a little off, it's going to be considered a grade B, and they'll just throw it away. When that fruit is not necessarily bad, it's still good fruit. Now, there's some
it's just
places
not perfect.
It's just not that perfect shape, which I don't know. I don't fully agree with. Because because they don't. It's not like they give it away. I mean, some places do. I do have to. I do have to say that sometimes you have these farms, orchards, and what have you that have this grade B fruit and everything, and they do donate it. They give it to homeless shelters. It may not be the best looking fruit. But it probably tastes just the same.
And it's just as nutritious.
Yeah, so it has nothing to do with drones, but
right,
it kind of
it has to do with the story.
It has to do with the story because they're trying to make it so they're only pollinating the ones that will give them the right type of fruit, effectively negating the problem of food waste, which is good. But then again, you have it to where sometimes that food waste is good because they'll actually, the right places will donate it.
Right. And even sometimes I'm sure like apples and maybe carrots or something, the grade B and maybe a little lower would go to like feed for animals.
That's true too.
Horses love apples and carrots.
That's true too.
So that's another thing to think about. It's like, well, let's not feed just us. We do have to feed the horses, the other animals, and everything else. I know that, or I've heard, I don't know the percentage, but like a majority of corn doesn't come to human consumption. It goes to animals. Feed for cows, dogs, cats, everybody. It goes into all kinds of different stuff. So I don't think that will be as affected as maybe an apple, and than almonds and all of that. So, but no, I agree with your concern.
Yeah.
It's a really good concern. And the peanut gallery, except for RL, is being kind of bad. The peanut gallery is being kind of quiet on this whole thing. I'd like to hear what they have to say about any of this.
I agree. Sorry, I got something in my eye.
Your finger. You knew I
was. Well, no, I blinked and I think I got an eyelash in my eye for a second.
Here, let me help you out.
You're just gonna blank me out? Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that.
No problem, man. Anything.
I'm already on the stream picking at my eye because it felt like something scratched it.
Ouch. So that would not be any fun.
I just want to say we have 6 likes and there's at least 8 people watching.
Woo-hoo.
Two people are missing on those likes.
Probably me and you.
Granted, one of the 8 that's watching is me, and I already hit the like button. I was actually
it's probably one of them might be me.
to hit the like button. So I'm just saying.
Just saying, hit it.
Hit it.
Share it. Tell everybody we're live right now. Come on.
That's right.
I texted people saying we're going live, and they should be here. Where are they?
I don't know.
Neither do I.
What we're missing? Neil, Matt,
Brian.
Oh, I didn't. Isn't Brian going to be down here soon?
Yeah, Brian actually told me he was going to be watching the live stream. I don't know if he's here or not. I mean, we only got a couple people saying hey on the chat, so Brian might be disappeared. He might be just silent but deadly.
Yeah, it's pretty much just RL typing in there now.
Yeah, Greg is gone. The other Brian is gone. I'm gonna cry. We're gonna cry. Somebody say hi in that stream. Tell me where you're from. So since nobody else wants to talk about the pollination, we've got the next articles. I have 2 articles that are about the same topic, about training drone pilots. First one is all about training via simulator, and the second one, what did I win? You win my gratification. That's what you win, Arco.
Oh, Arco's still here.
Yeah, Arco's still here, man. Glad to see you.
Just quiet.
So what we have now is I want to talk about the training simulator. So we're getting this. Oops, I got to go back. Well, this is really kind of. Oops, that's not what I want. So we're talking about this training simulator. They're basically. And I barely read this one. I have had so little time to prepare today. I'm so sorry, guys. Please don't hate me. So in Omaha, Nebraska, they've offered a 5-week course.
Look, Neil's here. Hold on, Neil's here.
Who cares about
showed up.
Who cares about Neil? So in Omaha, Nebraska, they're offering this just says, for example, they're offering a 5-week course called the RAD. I can't really read it. It's really small. Basically, drone aviation badge. They're teaching people how to fly. Yeah, they're teaching people how to fly drones. They're helping them get their FAA certification, making sure they fly safe. And you know what? I'm all about that. They're saying there's another one in Cloud County Community College in Concordia, Kansas.
Yep.
Talk about enough C's in that one. They're talking.
Whoa, hold on. They're offering a 2-year Associates of Applied Science degree program in small unmanned aerial systems.
There's actually a school north of Chicago that's doing the same thing, because there's a kid that I worked with through Robo Aerial that actually is in the same thing. But it's not just drone piloting, it's also small planes. It's actually getting your drone pilot's license and your Cessna license.
That's still pretty cool, though.
Yeah, that's a really good deal.
This one is unmanned, though. This one's unmanned.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're going to start using. Yeah, they're going to start using the simulators, so that it's easier. So they don't have to have a bunch of drones, and they can just have the simulator up, which is
cheaper.
Is a lot cheaper, exactly. And then they can have them, instead of crashing their nice, even if it's a Mavic, it's a $1,000 drone. Even if it's a Parrot, it's an $800 drone. So they just buy the software, and they go do it. And I think this is a good sign, because it kind of goes with this next article here, which I'm going to pop up just a second. This article, where they talk about, this is in the UK, where they have a whole drone academy, a full-on academy, kind of like what we were just talking about over there. So this is in the UK. The Civil Aviation Authority is working with it, and this is an awesome thing, because I'm not going to read through all these articles, because they're saying what the basic idea is people are getting trained. Oh, look at that! We get a nice freaking ad. Isn't that beautiful? So what my point is, there's schools out to teach you how to fly responsibly and become a good pilot. I love that. Hey, Matt's here. Finally. Finally.
Hey, you're up to 11. Up to 11.
Yay!
So that, you know what? Hold on. Mm-hmm. There's still only 6 likes. You got 11 people are watching.
Man, you guys don't like me very much. I'm going to cry. Anyway, so my point is they have schools, they have ways to learn, and my biggest thing is responsible and safe. I think you guys know that I'm all about trying to be as safe and responsible as possible, and I dig this. What are your thoughts? I want to hear everybody else's thoughts.
No, I agree with you. I think this is actually really cool. I mean, you know, not only safe, but think about it in the idea of the Part 107. What's your Part 107 really teaching you?
Nothing. It teaches you the rules.
And sectional charts.
Yes.
Sectional charts and lots of sectional charts. And METARs.
How many of you guys have used one?
So that's the thing about it. Like, this seems like this is more of a hands-on. So not, you know, you could have your Part 107 all day long and have never flown a drone.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're commercially certified, you know, with your 107, and all right, then let's say you go get your Part 107, then you buy a drone, and then you go, okay, I'm going to go ahead and fly your drone over your $4.5 million house and crash it into the window.
And you have a nice big Inspire where it does a lot of damage.
That's right. That's right.
And you forgot to get your insurance that day.
That's right, because, you know, I'm sure in a classroom setting just like this, they're going to go ahead and mention insurance. They're going to mention, you know, how, you know, they're going to teach you how to fly it. They're going to, you know, mention what to do. And you'll learn the METARs in the sectional charts, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yay. That'll be the last day of class. And now here's how you pass the test.
Here's your cram session.
Yep. And ATCO, you know, he says Remote Pilot 101 is the best. And of course I believe that because I have links below to it, so go take it. But anyway, the education, I think that I had actually thought about training people on how to fly, just like they're doing here. But I'm like, you know what? Y'all go teach. You do it, and you probably do a better job than me. I'm thrilled that they're teaching responsibly, because you can get, like, what do you say, you get a Bugs 3 and go beat the crap out of it, yeah, but a lot of people who want to just get out and do it, they don't really practice much on a smaller drone. I mean, I went out, I took my Autel out and just flew it around a big field many times until I got proficient at it, and I just played around. There are still things I need to learn, and still things I have to practice, but I'm good enough to where I can get some really good stuff, and I'm also safe. You know, in the beginning, I was probably not as safe as I am now because I was just stupid. You know, because we all do that. We're all stupid in the beginning. We're all like, oh, how high can I go? Ooh, 10,000 feet. Oh, wait a minute.
Well, and then even now, I mean, you know, we may be certified and everything like that, but, you know, sometimes, you know, crap happens. I'm trying to censor myself.
Oh, yeah, I appreciate that. And you're right, and sometimes it does. I mean, when I was flying indoors, in fact, I have this in the video, I tell them about it, I was flying kind of low to the floor, and my drone just started drifting towards a rather expensive item, which we won't discuss. And it was the kind of item where that would have hurt. I mean, it probably wouldn't have done any real big damage, but even if I just like nicked it enough to where they had to replace one little part, that one little part could have cost 5 figures.
So are you talking about
don't say nothing. Don't say what. That's all in the other video.
I got you.
We don't give away everything, man.
Well, and I mean, I'll call myself out. So I have a video in downtown Tampa, and I think this is maybe right before I got my 107. So maybe, I mean, this is a huge maybe. Maybe it was right after it, or it was all around the same time. But there was a point where I was like, all right, I'm flying. I got a good shot of like the Hillsborough River while I'm still downtown, and all of a sudden I can't see the drone. And I let go of the sticks, thankfully, and it drifts to the side, and all of a sudden, here's a building right next to the drone, and I'm like, oh god, oh god. And it wasn't like a business. I mean, but this was still like, this is a high-rise apartment building.
Oh,
So thankfully it wasn't something that was just all flat windows. But
that could have been bad, and I know
Yeah.
that feeling because, like I talked about a few weeks ago when I was out doing that panel, satellites just dropped.
Yeah.
It's like, and had I not had enough experience, I mean, I don't really like flying my P4P ADDI mode, but didn't have a choice that day,
Nope.
and at least I had the wherewithal to know, turn that thing around so you can see the back end of it, and I still had line of sight pretty well, so I could do that and I could get it over, and luckily it wasn't too windy and all that. It was a bit windy,
Yeah.
but like you said, stuff can happen, and these are the things that I think those classes and the simulator, I imagine there's a random oh crap moment that you can create in that simulator that's like,
I'm sure.
my god.
Like flying in a hurricane like I did.
Yeah, that was intelligent.
Hey, I didn't use my expensive drone. I had my free drone.
Yeah,
so
your cheaper one. Matt, what do you think? Can't you tell we're using Skype? I mean, look. It probably says Skype somewhere on it. It does look. It's. I'm running at about 30% CPU usage, anywhere between 25 and 30% CPU usage. I think there's a specific. See, I think my welcome screen is what's heating that up. I don't know why it's heating it up. It shouldn't be, but it works. Hangout. I'm not touching Hangouts because Hangouts has been crashing my computer lately, and I'm not upgrading my computer right now.
Did you upgrade Chrome?
Upgrade Chrome? Why would I upgrade Chrome?
Because Hangouts runs through Chrome.
Well, but isn't Chrome already updated? It's automatically updated.
Not always.
Okay.
I know I had to manually update mine.
Okay,
That's completely off topic.
Yeah, that's way off topic. So, Matt, thanks for getting us off topic. We appreciate that. I only have like 4 articles to talk about, or 5 articles to talk about, and 4 stories.
Oh, we're only 42 minutes in. Come on.
But you go ahead. Mr. Drunk. Oh, actually, I got a picture from you that I got to put up that I took yesterday. It's just for Matt. I don't have it. It's on my camera still, so I don't have it to where I can show it. But maybe next week we'll show it just for Matt. And maybe Matt will be my guest next week. Or maybe I'll have somebody even better.
You know what? Hold on. Since Matt's here, so I have to show something. This is going to be for Matt and anybody else that might be interested. So I have a buddy who works for Epic Games. And the other day he sent me a random box. He asked me for my address. And I said, why? He just said, what's your address? So I gave it to him. So after a couple of days, I got a big box of stuff. And I'm trying to reach without pulling headphones out of my ears. So like I said, I think Matt will get a kick out of this. But here's one of the things.
Ooh, that folks good.
Fortnite sunglasses. This is the name of the grocery store in the game. It's all backwards probably because it's.
Well, no, it's badge forward.
All right, and then you got this guy. Oh, can I put it back though? It's good enough. But all right, this one I have to take my headphones off because this last one is gonna be cool. Hold on.
Okay. And I see your article where you say
I can't hear anything.
I know. I don't care that you can't hear anything.
But this one's so
I
worth
just saw a blogger. They landed on.
Because I needed this for my drone controller.
He won't let me talk. I was trying to talk when you were off, but you just wouldn't shut up.
No, I wouldn't. So I needed a new lanyard for my drone controller. Let's see.
Oh!
This is the Fortnite Pro-Am, but it's also a detachable one. So this was like the perfect kind of thing. And yeah, so I thought this was pretty cool.
That is awesome. That is really awesome.
So, and then I think I got like another pair of sunglasses, and some of this stuff was really sent not just for me, but then for my girls too. Little water guns with the Fortnite logo on it and everything too. So,
nice.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
That is awesome.
So, like I said, off topic completely, but now you can put Fortnite in your tags, which will increase your views.
Yeah, probably would. I want to talk about what Arco said. He said he saw a video blogger in Philippines landing a Mavic on a boat with ATCO mode, and he said no problem landing. And which is really really cool. Yeah, ATCO is a good mode as long as you know how to fly in it. If it's windy or you're really not competent, then it goes. And Neil is talking about the a leash. It is a leash. Sorry, man, it's a leash for your drone. So Neil, this is actually something that he and I are going to talk about later. I was looking at having a drone meeting here in Midwest, probably in Chicago, maybe a little not in Chicago, a place we went to yesterday. But we'll talk about that after all the news. We got one more news article to go through, and this is this will be relatively short. Because now
still got 9 people watching, by the way, Brian. I
only
think
9. I want 29.
You've been at 8+ this entire stream, and I'm pretty impressed with that. I have to say that is one of the beauties of live streaming, isn't it?
Yes. Yes.
People stay here.
You're not married yet.
Well, see, that's what Matt was saying that our wedding gift is that he's sending me a cello.
A leash.
A leash. Apparently, that's what RL's sending. Is a leash.
Okay. So, on the drones, even though Tello is a drone, let's go back to this. This is something that I came across again. I just looked at a bunch of articles today, and I had to narrow this down to like 4 stories, 5 articles. But there was so many more I wanted to show. But this one I thought was kind of interesting. I think it's Alberta, Canada, if you can see that. They have a meter reading drone, a drone that reads gas meters.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm not going to play the video because I don't know what will happen. But you read through this, and they talk about how it's really really difficult now, and it's talking more of I believe the rural areas. Obviously, you can't fly around a high rise and do meter reading for gases because I know my gas meter is inside the building, or no, that's my electrical meter. But anyway, you can't really do that. But this is out where they're taking drones and reading the meters. I'm not really sure what it does essentially. I can't even read this thing on this thing. So tell me what it says.
I'll read it. Mm-hmm. What it does is it essentially is sending out the signal with the actual meter read on the meter itself. There's no other information, no personal information. We know where all the equipment is, and we take that reading and bring it back into our system that we use for billing. Now, what I'm seeing here is that it does show. It doesn't look like it is drones yet.
Oh.
This is actually airplanes.
Oh, it's an airplane. Damn it.
But at the same time, I mean, it looks like that's eventually what it'll probably turn into. I mean, it says, the days of utility workers visiting a home to secure gas meter readings in Alberta appear to be numbered following the introduction of aircraft to collect data transmitted on high-quality radio frequencies.
Yeah, damn it.
No, but this is, it may not be fully drone related, but this is still pretty cool, and you can easily see that this would turn into something like that. But like as of right now, they're going 4,500 feet above ground.
Yeah, and if they take a drone and they fly even 400 feet and they get one of the fixed-wing drones to do the same thing, it'd be quite easy. I think that would be awesome.
Yeah.
And it would, Neil is pointing right, beyond visual line of sight, too. So they have to get, and I know that in Canada, it's one of the places they're working on many systems to go beyond visual line of sight. So that's going to happen. But and you're right, I wish I would have read the article again, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm such a loser.
It's still cool. No,
it is.
But this could easily be applied to drones, and especially if they're trying to go beyond visual line of sight, and they're trying to go ahead and do that. They could do the same thing right through the grid. Yeah, because that's what they're using. They're talking about using a grid system to do this. It's just flying back and forth through a grid system.
Yep. The co-op does that now. But my electrical, they just have I have a smart meter, and they don't even come to the house. It's just everything that's on my meter is logged back to them.
Yeah. Well, I know with ours, they don't actually come up to the meter at all. Well, no, for our water, I think they still do. But like our power, they just drive up the road.
They don't have to do that. They don't have to drive up the road anymore. They just get it straight from the. We have no meter readers at all, like Matt said. And that's the thing. So I guess my excitement was a little premature, number one. But if they if they get to the point to where they do everything